Time now for the Educated Retirement Show with your host, Jay Kaplan. Jay discusses reverse mortgages and can answer your questions at 951-922-3532. Call lines are open at 951-922-3532. And now here's Jay.
Well, here's Jay, and it is January 22nd, and this is the Educated Retirement, and welcome to the Educated Retirement Radio here on KMET 1490 AM, where we contemplate retirement and how to best prepare for retirement and stay successfully retired. Please give me a call at or visit drhecm.com. All right, I got the wrong board, but who cares? We can see it anyway. There's the phone number. Okay, 866-955-2233. And you can look up theeducatedretirement.com, which is the name of the show, or Dr. Heckham, drhecm.com. Just email me if you like, bestloantoday@gmail.com. And why? Well, a couple of reasons. For one reason, the future is now, and since you need to get things ready for the future right now, we need to talk. Just talk, that's all. Not a big deal. I can talk about anything. UFOs, Bigfoot, those are the, those things, and even not only reverse mortgages, any mortgage that you might want to talk about, but remember, knowledge is power. Jump over to Dr. Heckham or theeducatedretirement.com, and you can see all the shows, past and present. On the YouTube channel, you can also go to where it says live shows to watch live anywhere internet is, and I think that's most of the planet. And it says to watch my live shows, but you can click on it. You can watch any show that is on KMET. And do I have a day job, you hope? Yes, I do. The Loan Source. My NMLS number, which is the lending license number, is, and it's nationwide, but I'm really I can give information everywhere, but I am licensed to do loans in the state of California, 384-565. Department of Real Estate is, number is 792-630. And today is, just to let you know, National Hot Sauce Day. So, National Hot Sauce. I'm pressing some other buttons and some other things, but don't worry. The buttons usually work. Sometimes they don't, but it doesn't matter. I'm just trying to press the buttons that will help me in this nation is Mad Dog 357 plutonium number 9. And I thought that might be too hot to try to pick up a bottle to show you. It has 9 million Scoville units. Now, what exactly is a Scoville unit? It's hot. I can't tell you exactly, but to give some comparison, Tabasco is 5,000 units. And plutonium number 1 is 9 million units. Sriracha is so popular everywhere. It is anywhere you can get different heat signatures from 1,000 to 2,500 units, and we're going back to 9 million for the others. So I don't think that is for me. We do believe in challenging the status quo, and families need to be active, not reactive. So be active out there. Whose birthday is it today? It is John Hurt. John Hurt was born in 1940, and he passed on, earned his wings in 2017. He was an English actor whose career spanned over 50 years and was in over 97 films, and yeah, you've seen him a lot. Nominated for 2 Oscars and won numerous Golden Globes and BAFTA, B-A-F-T-A. All I know for sure is that B stands for British, and the A at the end must be awards. So he said, I am a director's actor. Producers never seem to know what to do with me. However, David Lynch, a director, said or described him simply as the best actor in the world. And that's quite a thing from David Lynch, who is, he might be older than I am, but maybe not. Anyway, he had an interest in acting at a very young age and lived across the street from a movie theater, but was not allowed to go. Can you imagine not going? We didn't have TVs then either, I don't think. Anyway, his family frowned on such things. So there, I mean, it's like if you tell somebody you can't do it or you can't have it, that's when you excel at it. At 17, he enrolled in an art school where he won a scholarship to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. And his first major role, I didn't realize that, was a 1962 film called A Man for All Seasons. Now, yes, I've got this and other ones, but I thought, well, why not show a video tape? I didn't even know what to call it. I got through video, but I didn't get the rest of it. But yeah, tape. It's not tape. And yeah, we still got them around. I remember when I was a kid that came out, how, you know, I was really impressed by it. And all my friends, they were running around talking about the comedy Start the Revolution Without Me, if you remember that. Anyway, I loved that film when I saw it, and I still do. So there. So I highly recommend A Man for All Seasons. I think Paul Scofield won the Academy Award for that, and on and on. Anyway, John Hurt was also in Midnight Express, of course, Alien, which I think we all know quite a bit about, become a huge franchise. And I should have taken this out of the plastic, but this is actually a fairly new repressing and extended soundtrack of it. I think it's on Death Waltz or Mondo. I'd have to check. I don't have the little thingy on it right now. Anyway, his portrayal of Kane, where the alien burst out of his chest, has been named by several publications as one of the most memorable moments in cinematic history, and I think we probably all agree. He was also in Elephant Man. I got a copy around here somewhere. Nominated Best Actor, and that too was directed by David Lynch, who said he was the best actor ever. He was in a film, which we'll talk more get into a little bit more, directed by Jim Jarmusch, called Dead Man with Johnny Depp, and I'll show you a little more about that too, because it is Jim Jarmusch's birthday today. And he was also in the film Contact, and I know we do got that. Contact. Show the back anyway, but I'm sure most people, it's a very popular film to many people. He played Dr. Haddon, who lived in a satellite, you know, the guy that saved the day. So, you know, I always thought, what would it be like to be that rich and to have that much whatever? So who would be that person today? Sean, are you listening at all? Do you have an opinion there?
I have no clue.
All right, I'm going to throw one in. I'm going to put Robert Bigelow. I don't have his page. Well, I know. That's not the same Bigelow from DOA, but you know, it could also be Elon Musk or Richard Branson. But the only one that I know of that was on 60 Minutes that said he knows 100% that aliens are on Earth would be Robert Bigelow. And he used to own the Skinwalker Ranch and still works at very high levels of government with UFO stuff. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And of course, you know, John Hurt was the man that, sold the magic wands, and he unfortunately never had one for me. He was also in V for Vendetta, which is a great, great graphic novel, along with Watchmen. Alan David Lloyd did the drawings, V for Vendetta, but I thought that was amazing film, and it laid a very good rendition of this great novel, which I think we should all be looking into. The other one that Alan Moore wrote, I think, was even better, and that is very hard to say better, but that would be Watchmen, which has been on, almost every list of best 100 novels of the 20th century. The movie wasn't as well taken, although I liked it, but there is a real life director's cut that's out running around there somewhere. There's the music from it. But I really highly recommend looking at some of these graphic novels. They are not comic books, and I love comic books too, don't get me wrong. And of course, John Hurt was in Hellboy. There's our boy right there. Or this is Hellboy too, but All right, we mentioned Jim Jarmusch. Yeah, we mentioned I needed to take a drink of coffee, didn't we? Jim Jarmusch, Jarmusch, was born in 1953, just a kid. And I loved his stuff since we first started seeing him, and just haven't seen enough from him. But he's stayed true to his roots really are. An American film director, screenwriter, actor, producer, and composer. Here's a picture of what he. Oh, looks like I'm running out of a little ink here, but that's okay. There's a picture of what he. Supposed to be what he looks like now, and that could be. And here he is as a young punk. But he's still got that same look. Jim's mother was a reviewer for film and theater who would leave him at a local cinema to watch matinee double features while she ran errands. Quite different than John Hurt's parents, I'd say, and these are the parents I'd rather have than John Hurt. But among his favorites were Attack of the Crab Monsters and Creature from the Black Lagoon. And I don't, we've shown that so many times, it really doesn't matter. That Creature from the Black Lagoon was on Svengoolie last Saturday. I hope you're all watching Svengoolie like, good older people and everybody else. And among his childhood favorite television personalities was, Svengoolie. He's been on for 40 years, but it was Ghoulardi. Now, just a reminder, a refresher course, because we went over this, I don't know, a month or so ago. I don't know. When you get old like me, you forget how fast time goes by. When you get older, I shouldn't say old, since I'm such a kid. Anyway, Ghoulardi, we spoke a lot about him a bit ago. Why? Because Ghoulardi was the father of Paul Thomas Anderson, one of the best directors, one of the most famous directors of our time. And Jim's favorite writers were William Burroughs and Jack Kerouac. Now, we'll get into just a little. William Burroughs. Oh, you know what? I was looking for the book, but we couldn't find the book. It's around here somewhere. Wrote such things as Naked Lunch. Of course, we're all kind of familiar with Jack Kerouac, who wrote On the Road, and who wrote Sheltering Sky, and Kesey wrote One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. They're all kind of a group. But William Burroughs wrote Naked Lunch. And let me show you a little bit about Naked. Here's the video disc, the Criterion video disc from that. And here's really kind of a cool little booklet that came with it. And I don't want to spend too much time, but I think there's some pictures worth looking at. Burroughs himself is, there's one picture of him, but I don't want to take too much time looking through there. But that's pretty cool cover, too, also for that. Now, the film, I thought was really well done by David Cronenberg. And here is, actually, this is not that old. This also came out on Mondo. Here's a quick picture of Pete. Pete who?
Weller.
Peter Weller. Notice the number of hands. Okay, that's the one thing I didn't see right away. But Pete, as I call him, and I had a conversation in New Orleans once about cigars, and that was a pretty short conversation, but it went on for another hour in my head only. But you know, that's the way I am. Now, because of Burroughs and the movie especially, you know, that's when people took drugs, couldn't get a hold of drugs as easily, so they became, what are those people that kill bugs? Bug killers, whatever. And, sniffed their own stuff, bug killing stuff, and got high. This typewriter in the background here, I bought only because of the movie Naked Lunch. Let's see if you can see it here. Let me get out of the way a little bit more. I think you can see it pretty well right there. And in the movie and the book, of course, the typewriters became giant bugs. And let's get back to Jim Jarmusch right now. And Jim, as an exchange student, moved to Paris, France, and worked as a delivery driver for an art gallery, spending most of his time in the cinema. And upon his return, he worked as an assistant to Nicholas Ray. I mean, that's quite an honor. Nicholas Ray did some other movies we all know about: Rebel Without a Cause, They Live by Night, and even Wim Wenders from Germany, another great director, did a whole movie about the work of Nicholas Ray. And of the movies of Jim Jarmusch, there is the first big hit was Stranger Than Paradise, and yeah, that's another video disc. No, it's a tape. That's it.
VHS.
Yeah, whatever it's called. Anyway, there's like a scene from the film. This is a book called Stranger Than Paradise about maverick filmmakers in recent American cinema. So Spike Lee, David Lynch, Steven Soderbergh, Quentin Tarantino, Coen Brothers, and Jim Jarmusch is kind of featured all over this place. So from that movie, which was honored at the Cannes Film Festival, it starred John Lurie, and that John Lurie and Jim had a very long relationship, a good one after that. John Lurie was part of a group called, and I love this, the Lounge Lizards. And there's one album. There's another one right there of the Lounge Lizards. And I forgot we even had this one. This one is London Philharmonic featuring the Lounge Lizards. Produced and conducts Tio Macero. And I believe Tio Macero did so much of the producing of the great jazz albums of the 1950s. But just give you a quick look at that also. I forgot I even had this one. Wow. All right, big time. Here's what John Lurie looked like as a much younger person. And he's a little bit older now, but still. you know, last time I saw him was on the Anthony Bourdain show where they did a Greenwich Village special about food, culture, and of course, John Lurie was a part of all of that. And that was the final episode of Parts Unknown. Unfortunately, and there's a lot more we need to know about that, but we don't. Jim did another movie, Mystery Train, which had a lot to do with rock and roll, I believe. Dead Man with Johnny Depp. That's the record. No, is that the record or the video? That's a video disc. God, we got all of these kinds of things. Anyway, Dead Man was also Robert Mitchum's very last film. And of course, every chance I get, I like to talk about Robert Mitchum singing Calypso. So, you know, don't forget that. And John Hurt was also in there. And he was also a founding member of the Sons of Lee Marvin. And that was a semi-secret society of artists who met and watched Lee Marvin films. The sole entry requirement for the club is that one must have a physical resemblance to look like the son of Lee Marvin. I don't know what they did about daughters of Lee Marvin, but we'll talk about that later. Oh, maybe we can connect it with Linda Blair and The Exorcist, because Linda Blair's birthday is today, 1959, and I'm going to have to wrap this up in just a minute, and I will do that. American actress in over 20 films, started as a child model for Sears, JCPenney, and Macy's catalogs. Remember when that was the pre-internet shopping craze? She was also in 70 commercials for Winchell's Donuts, and she was featured in some daytime soaps, and most recognized now as the child who was possessed. And here is her autograph, which I know I've shown before, but you know, which I got at a sci-fi gathering or whatever, where people were signing autographs for whatever. But she was selected for the part. That part had over 600 applicants. The first film ever to be nominated for an Oscar picture. The first horror film. I believe Silence of the Lambs was not only the second one, but it actually won the award. Other considerations for Father Marin were, excuse me if I'm going to talk fast because I got to wrap it up here, were Jack Nicholson, Marlon Brando, Gene Hackman, the role going to the great Max von Sydow. Other considerations for Reagan's mother were Shirley MacLaine, Jane Fonda, Audrey Hepburn. The role went to the perfect acting job by Ellen Burstyn. And believe it or not, Debbie Reynolds and her daughter Carrie Fisher were considered as a mother and daughter team for that film. And directors that wanted to do it, that were turned down by the studio, Stanley Kubrick, Mike Nichols, and Peter Bogdanovich, were all turned down for the director's job, and I'd like to talk more about that, but we're not gonna. Honorable mentions today: Guy Fieri, 1968, Sam Cooke in 1939, 1931, and left us in 1964. There was a huge resurgence on vinyl of Sam Cooke this last week. Bill Bixby, 1934 to 1993. He played television's Hulk, but so did this guy. And we have his autograph. That's that who?
Vince Ferragamo.
Well, Vince Ferragamo. So Vince is going to be the last one to say goodbye to us now for just a couple of minutes. So take care of yourself, and Sean, please take it back. And sorry I went so long, but I'll see you in a minute.